Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, guys. How amazing! We're all here at 2:30 to listen to poetry on a Saturday afternoon. I affirm that. I'm also very uncomfortable in shorts in front of people talking, but it's like wicked hot out, so I'm trying to fight through sort of my own neuroses. The two poems in this book are from this sonnet sequence, sonnets about a boy detective from a chapbook that's also about a boy detective. I've never read them aloud, and they're like a little older, so I was surprised that people wanted to put them onto paper. So I'll read a couple of those, and if those don't go well, do something else. So these are the ones from the book. The boy detective gets his start. Birth is a trauma he never expected to survive. Sometime 12 years deep, the amniotic fluid dried and he became a boy. Looked in a clean mirror and saw mystery. From then on, the boy dealt only in ciphers. The year he stopped swaddling himself in deep red sheets, we knew he was bound for something unsolvable. The year he broke a fluorescent bulb in his father's study to watch a flame spill across all those old books. What a safe horror, to skin a beam of light and only find more light. To break free of your mother into a world so bright it's impossible to understand. When even language is a photocopy of someone else's speaking mouth, it didn't make sense. Slim key in a galaxy of holes. No, he had to figure it out. And that's like the first one in the book, so, he gets his start. And then he waits up for his brother. 13 years of waiting for a door that never swings open. Each time the wind picks up some trash and drops, it sounds like a footstep. On the front steps, on the front porch with older boys, smoke hanging there between his fingers. He smells bourbon through the door. Fully dressed under his blanket for the night, his brother decides to come back and teach him to drink. He's been practicing for that moment, so the boys won't laugh when his throat rejects the liquor. He's taught himself to enjoy the taste of poison, to turn his gag reflex into a precise instrument. Laughing alone in his father's chair, glass tumbler dimming the room in his hand. He never had a brother, not really. Just some wind, just some light casting shadows in the shape of an older boy. Cool. What's he up to next? Okay, the boy detective's wet dream. He's snapped awake and he's drowning. The boy left behind, a vulgar warmth gathered around his sex, an unwelcome wetness he prays is urine. What would happen if instead of growing cold, the lake he made burned? If the lake became a river he could cross out of humiliation into eternity, the new burden of his comforter, cement hardening into the statue of a winged child between his legs, his shame born less out of hunger than his body's refusal to be trained. He brings one finger to his lips and tastes gasoline. He cleans himself in the dark. Cool. So I wrote these after I went through a breakup, and so I was like, I'm just gonna make up a boy and punish him, as you do, So maybe I'll do one more of these and then something else, a little sadder. Which one? Oh yeah, here's a sad one. The boy detective loses love. There should be a word for how the world turns to amber resin with a long dead wasp gasping inside when someone leaves you. The boy tries to catalog each betrayal, rage shouting up through his skin. This way he could understand. Marker on the wall, lipstick on the mirror, ink spreading its arms across every page in his notebook. Each letter becomes a name, each name a shadow walking away. This is stasis. This is a fish split open and thrashing on a dock beneath a sky with no stars. This is how all the light gets swallowed, how we store our sorrow in clear glass jars that tint winter's light, that keeps us warm through the coldest months. That was like a way earlier draft of that poem, sorry about that. The other ending is like really good. Totally missed that. What else? I got some poems. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna read a couple of some poems that I've never read before, just for us here today. All right. This is called "The Italian Root of Quarantine Is." Anyone with sense is afraid of the ocean, even those who haven't seen it, only heard a man walk on water, only saw a typhoon talk shit to shore. Sure, anyone with science knows the soul is located in the stomach. Tonight we eat, tonight we wet, tonight we exercise our small intestines as sacrament. Sure, we swarm the grocery store after each new cataclysmic prediction, make tape of our hair, tear evening wear into bandages, stockpile canned pears and marinara. Sure, we'll take any god's dyspeptic medicine if it means penance against bedlam. Any good seance begins with a blood moon. Any act of severance requires immunity. Tonight, the sky is a belt of crows. The trees are mean with grackles. The TV heralds terror microbes after a man transports an ancient disease across the globe in the vial of his body. Panic is the god who keeps the ships at bay for 40 days, who opens his mouth and out spills an orange. Maybe I'll do one more poem and then end it there. Wicked. Oh yeah, this is another sort of. How are you guys feeling? Doing good?
Go for it.
Go for it. Which? No, I'm gonna read something from this chapbook. It has pictures in it.
Fun.
You know what I mean? Like, immediately elevates its literary quality. Okay, this is called "When Researching Public Sex Theaters for a Poem." You guys know what public sex theaters are? It's like where you go to a porn theater and have sex with people, strangers. All right. It's called "When Researching Public Sex Theaters for a Poem." You know you have to pay, right? The marquee does its neon work to draw you, but your wallet will be punished. The big man sits in his tiny booth with his big hands. You wonder if he finds you disgusting or sees you. Place the bill right in his palm. Feel meat through currency. Fantasize he might follow you in. Leave your eyes in his mouth. What's a poem worth anyway? $10 at the door, the long staircase, the soiled cloth seats. Who uses cloth seats anymore anyway? You read they hold disease better than mosquitoes. Feel the swarm beneath as you sit, each tiny needle sucking you down. It's dark as you imagined, but you do not do what you imagined you would do. Your body does not transform into something with more limbs, prehensile and guttural. You sit, hands, decorative silk napkins folded in pockets, the whole of your skin shrinking away from its lineage, that accordion history opening all its doors in the dark. Imagine the actors dead now, forever blazing in celluloid before the swarms of us, forced into the same positions over and over, the desperate cocaine buzzing through the screen, the same angry hives, the overdubbed screams. In the pause between films, you wonder again the cost of a poem. Is it the man wearing a dark suit beside you? His face, a candle of legs. His wet, demanding lips. The next film begins, and you reach out for him. The mosquitoes feeding blood forward into your hands outstretched as though he might save you. But he pulls away. But he fades into the dark. Then, when you open your mouth, one strange voice stumbles out after another. Pandemic of hair yawns down your back. A thin tail gasps out from between these hind legs. So you walk down the long staircase, your body transforming into something so much smaller. The big man's hands 5 stories wide now. In the cab ride home, you laugh at how you tried to speak a dying language. How naive and brave you were. How ludicrous you believed you might find something holy in sweat. A new way to talk about perversion or release or the genealogy of desire. You don't tell anyone you went. So tiny you could climb in a stranger's pocket. And you want to. And you paid to. Ugly swarm of cloth still folded in the blood. Isn't it funny how you once believed nothing in this whole world could disgust you? Thanks.